2004, the authorities in Iran executed a 16-year-old girl.
She would pray for the last time, would be blindfolded the next morning, and be taken to the gallows. And then they killed my child.
Atifa Sahala was charged with crimes against chastity and hanged in the public square.
Atifa didn't know until the last second when hoisted her up that she was going to be executed.
The Iranian authorities tried to cover up the case. Now, a team of undercover filmmakers travels to Iran to find out how it could have happened.
I really don't know if even now the corpse is there or not.
And Atifa's story is not the only one. In a society where strict Islamic law rules the land, simply being a troubled teenage girl can be fatal. This is the square in the small town of Neka, Iran, where Atifa Sahala was executed. The state-run newspaper claimed she committed adultery, but she wasn't married. It described her as 22 years old, but she was just 16. To discover the facts about Atifa's case, the filmmakers traveled to Iran undercover and conducted their research and filming in secret. The police threatened those who knew Atifa not to talk to the media, but witnesses came forward to help piece together the truth. They said it was their duty to get Atifa's story told. So who was this girl the Iranian authorities viewed as such a danger to the public? Those close to her say she had the hopes and dreams of an ordinary teenager.
I still owe people money in Rahahan Street, Neka, because I borrowed it to buy her the latest pair of jeans that she wanted. Daddy, I want this. Daddy, I want that. I got her everything that she wanted. She was my love, my heart. I did everything for her, everything I could. I struggled to bring her up.
How did this young girl's life become reduced to a grim human rights abuse statistic? Today, Iran is estimated second only to China for the number of people the state executes. In 2004, the year of Atifa's death, at least 159 people were executed in accordance with the Islamic laws of Iran, based on the Sharia code. Capital crimes include not just murder and drug smuggling, but sex outside marriage. Reformers have tried since the revolution to soften these laws. In 1995, they won a promise from the government that Iran would not execute minors. But the clerical courts answer to Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Khamenei, and not to the elected government. Holding the courts accountable has been difficult. The truth about Atifa's case first began to surface in the days after her death through dissident newspapers and the internet.
This girl was very young. She was attending school, for God's sake.
Websites and illegal radio stations were contacted by a huge number of callers, many from Atifa's own town of Neka.
She did not deserve what they did to her. She was lively, intelligent, and of course, rebellious.
The judge wanted to close the book on Atifa's life. The sooner the better. If it came out that she was only 16, the verdict would have been overturned.
These rumors caught the attention of journalist Asia Amini, who knew the issue of Atifa's real age was crucial.
Because according to the International Convention on Human Rights, to which Iran is a signatory, Iran cannot execute any person under the age of 18.
Amini left Tehran to investigate. She headed north to Atifa's hometown, a 5-hour drive from the capital, near the Caspian Sea. There, as in other places outside the big cities, the grip of the religious authorities is nearly absolute. And for a journalist, every bend in the road reveals a disturbing new piece of Atifa's story. Driving through the small Iranian town of Neka, you would never know that something significant happened here. But this is where a 16-year-old girl, Atifa Sahala, was executed. Outsiders asking questions here are conspicuous, and the eyes of the authorities are everywhere. Asiya Amini is a journalist who investigated the execution.
When I entered the city, I started to ask the locals what had actually happened. Most of the answers were whispered to me, because it was delicate and people don't talk freely about the executed. When I met with the family, they showed me a copy of her birth certificate and a copy of her death certificate, and both of them show she was born in 1988. Why was 16-year-old Atifa executed?
Atifa's father decided to speak openly about the case, which he regards as a miscarriage of justice. The authorities did not even give him the chance to say goodbye to his daughter.
I was working in a brick factory. One early morning, at 4 in the morning, my elder sister came to see me. She was screaming, "Come, come." She told me they have executed Atifa, they have executed your daughter.
Amini's investigation uncovered the details of Atifa's background and childhood.
Unfortunately, Atifa was a victim of her family circumstances. Atifa was only 4 or 5 when her mother dies in a horrific car accident. When she dies, Atifa's father, who was very much in love with his wife, becomes addicted to drugs. Up until then, he used to work and take care of his family, but after his wife's untimely death, he becomes so affected and depressed that he becomes a heavy drug user and gradually loses everything.
Atifa never had any family problems or issues until her mother passed away. We didn't have any problems.
Atifa was brought up without the supervision of either a mother or a father. When you pour some water in a glass, the water takes the shape of the glass itself. But if you pour water on the ground, it doesn't have a mold or a frame to take the shape of. In my opinion, Atifa was the same. What we hear about Atifa was that she was wild and grew up in an atmosphere that lacked discipline, and she never fitted in.